What's hotter than a fresh pair of kicks straight out of the box? The cold shoulder that athletes are giving Nike. That's right, we're asking the question, why do some athletes hate Nike? Buckle up, because this ride is bumpier than trying to run in high wheels. Now, before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. We're not saying all athletes hate Nike. I mean, some of them probably love Nike more than they love their morning coffee. But there's been a growing trend of athletes giving Nike the side eye, and we're here to break it down for you. Let's start with a little history lesson. Nike's been the big dog in the sports world since forever, right? They've got their iconic swoosh, the Just Do It slogan that makes you want to run a marathon even when you're binge watching Netflix. They've been the go-to brand for athletes since before some of us were born. But here's the thing, being on top means you've got a target on your back. And lately, that target been getting hit more often than a pitching machine at batting practice. So why are some athletes giving Nike the cold shoulder? Let's break it down, shall we? Reason number 1. Show me the money. First up, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Some athletes feel like Nike is not showing them the money they deserve. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and finding out they're only serving salads. Where's the beef, Nike? Take the case of Allyson Felix, the track and field superstar. In 2019, she spoke out about Nike wanting to pay her 70% less after she became a mom. Talk about a low blow. It's like Nike was saying, congrats on the baby, here's a pay cut. Not cool, Nike. Not cool at all. This isn't just about Felix though. Some athletes have whispered and sometimes shouted about feeling undervalued by the swoosh. It's like Nike's playing Monopoly with real money. But some athletes feel like they're stuck on Baltic Avenue while Nike is chilling on Boardwalk. Reason number 2. The pressure cooker. Next up, let's talk about the pressure. And no, I'm not talking about the air in those Nike soles. I'm talking about the kind of pressure that makes you sweat more than a snowman in summer. Some athletes have spoken about feeling intense pressure to perform when they're with Nike. It's like being in a pressure cooker, but instead of making a delicious pot roast, you're trying to break world records. Take the Nike Oregon project. It was supposed to be this elite training group for distance runners. Sounds great, right? Well, it turned out to be a doping scandal, faster than Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash. The project's coach, Alberto Salazar, was banned for 4 years for doping violations. Talk about the PR nightmare. This scandal left a lot of athletes feeling betrayed and questioning Nike's ethics. It's like finding out your favorite superhero is actually the villain. Not a great look, Nike. Reason number 3. The one-size-fits-all problem. Here's another issue that got some athletes heated. Nike's one-size-fits-all approach. I'm not talking about the shoe sizing here. I'm talking about how Nike deals with its athletes. Some athletes feel like Nike treats them all the same, whether they're a superstar or just starting out. It's like being at a party where everyone gets the same party favor, whether it's your birthday or not. Where's the personal touch, Nike? This approach can leave some athletes feeling like they're just another cog in the Nike machine. They want to feel special, valued, like more than just a walking billboard for the swoosh. Is that too much to ask, Nike? Reason number 4. The sustainability struggle. Now, let's talk about something that's hotter than a fresh pair of Air Jordan 1s. Sustainability. Some athletes are giving Nike the side eye for not being green enough. It's like Nike's playing catch up in a race they should be leading. While Nike has made some efforts to be more sustainable, like their Move to Zero initiative, some athletes feel it's not enough. They want a brand that's as committed to saving the planet as they are to breaking records. It's like Nike is trying to run a marathon in flip-flops. They're making an effort, but some athletes think they need to step up their game. After all, there's no finish line when it comes to sustainability. Reason number 5. The cultural missteps. Here's where things get really tricky. Nike's had some cultural fumbles that have left athletes feeling like they're playing for the wrong team. Remember the Air Max 270 controversy? Nike released a shoe with a design on the sole that some people thought looked like the Arabic word for Allah. Talk about stepping in it. Nike had to recall the shoe faster than you can say cultural sensitivity. This kind of missteps can make athletes question whether Nike really understands and respects their culture. It's like inviting someone over for dinner and serving them food they're allergic to. Not a great way to win friends and influence people, Nike. Reason number 6. The competition is heating up. Let's face it, Nike is not the only fish in the sea anymore. Other brands are stepping up their game, and some athletes are finding greener pastures elsewhere. Take Puma for example. They've been snagging some big names lately, like Neymar Jr. and LaMelo Ball. It's like the cool new kid showed up at school and suddenly everyone wants to sit at their lunch table. Look at New Balance. They've been killing it in the running world, with athletes praising their shoes and their approach. It's like New Balance found Nike's playbook and decided to rewrite it. This competition means athletes have more options. They're not stuck with Nike if they're not happy. It's like being in an all-you-can-eat buffet instead of being forced to eat at the same restaurant every day. Reason number 7. The social justice tightrope. Here's where things get really complicated. Nike's tried to position itself as a champion of social justice. Remember the Colin Kaepernick ad? That was bolder than wearing mismatched socks on purpose. But some athletes feel like Nike's social justice stance is all talk and no action. They want a brand that's willing to walk the walk, not talk the talk. It's like Nike trying to run a race in high wheels. They're making an effort, but it's not quite working. Some athletes have called out Nike for not doing enough to support social justice causes beyond flashy ads. They want to see real change, not just catchy slogans. Reason number 8. The injury debate. Here's a touchy subject: injuries. Some athletes have raised concerns about Nike shoes and their potential links to injuries. It's like blaming your car for bad driving, but in this case, some athletes think there might be a real connection. There have been debates about whether certain Nike shoes design, particularly in running, might contribute to injuries. It's a complex issue with lots of factors involved, but it's definitely got some athletes looking at their Nike shoes with suspicion. Now, to be fair, this isn't just a Nike problem. All shoe brands have to deal with injury concerns. When you're the big dog, you get a lot more attention when things go wrong. Reason number 9. The endorsement dilemma. Let's talk about endorsements. Being a Nike athlete used to be the dream, right? But now some athletes are feeling like it's more of a golden handcuff situation. Some athletes feel like Nike's endorsement deals are too restrictive. They want more freedom to express themselves, to work with other brands in different areas. It's like being told you can only eat pizza for the rest of your life. Sure, pizza's great, but sometimes you want a burger, you know? This desire for more flexibility is leading some athletes to look for deals that give them more control over their image and their brand. They want to be partners, not just billboards. Reason number 10. The innovation slowdown. Lastly, let's talk about innovation. Nike built its empire on being the most innovative brand out there. But lately, some athletes feel like Nike's innovative engine is sputtering. Other brands are coming out with new technologies and design that are turning heads. Meanwhile, some athletes feel like Nike is resting on its laurels. It's like Nike is still using a flip phone while everyone else has moved on to smartphones. This perceived lack of innovation is making some athletes wonder if Nike is still the best place to be if they want to perform at their peak. Here's the million-dollar question. Will this trend continue, or will Nike find a way to win back the heart of athletes? Drop your comments down below, as well as what I can improve in my content.